Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we are shooting for the stars in Weatherford, Oklahoma. I am Harley. And you'll notice that there was no Brett intro for the show. Brett's son is out of surgery and all is good. His heart is fixed and now he's basically the $6 million toddler. With that being said, we are maintaining our distance due to the nature of the work that happens in my household. So we are approaching this whole situation with an overabundance of caution since little Carson is still susceptible to infection. So thanks again for all the well wishes. We'll get you some post-recovery angry infant pictures up on social media as soon as possible. Today we have an interview with the Stafford Air and Space Museum out of Weatherford. This interview is a pre-COVID interview, and I'm going to touch base with some additional details after the interview. I just wanted you to be aware that there may be some references that seem a little bit out of place. Just happens that this particular interview was recorded before the whole COVID-19 epidemic rolled through. So enough of my rambling. Let's get over to the interview right now.
All right, Cheney. So tell me about the history of we're going to kind of start off with the history of the museum, and then we'll kind of hit some of the highlights. So, yeah, go ahead and just hop in and grab the wheel. Tell us a little bit about the museum.
Okay. The Stafford Air and Space Museum is named after astronaut Thomas P. Stafford, and we are located in his hometown of Weatherford, Oklahoma. The museum started as just one little case, really, in the airport, the local airport here, and it grew to now 40,000 square feet with over an acre of exhibits under roof. We are expanding by another 22,000 square feet, and it's just amazing to see how far the museum has come, and we are now a Smithsonian affiliate and locally and nationally recognized.
So it's in terms, I know decommissions are a big part of aeronautical museums. How do you acquire? Do these come from private collectors, or does the government kind of give you an opportunity to get your hands on some of these? Because I know you have an AC-10 Warthog out front. How do you get those? I mean, how do you acquire these things?
Yeah, in large part it is through General Stafford himself. Stafford is actually 88 years old this year. He's very active in all we do out here. He calls about every day, and he's just an amazing man that's done so much for the city of Weatherford and the museum itself. Most of our artifacts are large items, such as the actual Titan II that we have is on loan from the Air Force Museum. We are allowed to keep those on display here permanently through a loan program with them. So we have a lot of items from the Air Force Museum, Johnson Space Center, Kennedy Space Center, and all of the NASA entities as well.
And with kind of, sadly, with the space programs kind of taking a huge dip, almost being non-existent anymore. I think a lot of the NASA engineers are building like drone technology now. Mm-hmm. What does that mean for the future? I mean, obviously, because aeronautics is a huge part of not only our military but our space. It just the origin of America.
Right.
With those being so limited in availability now, again, kids probably not. There may be not another child that sees another shuttle launch in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. Has that made a huge impact on visitors? And are you seeing more traffic now with those limits as well? Or
yeah, it's really diverse. We have a lot of ones that live through the space race and come back, and actually we can relive it with everything that we have on display here. All the new, younger generation, most of them haven't even heard of the shuttle.
That is just sad to me.
Yes, that's very sad, and that's what we are trying to preserve. We're trying to preserve the history of aviation and spaceflight here at the museum. We do that well through the chronological order. We start with the Wright Brothers Flyer, a full-scale replica of that, and then go to the space flight and have an actual Titan II rocket.
Wow.
It's just, when kids step through our doors, they are transformed into an area that they really know very little about. And they leave here inspired, and many go on into aerospace fields and STEM fields just from visiting here and getting involved and learning more about it.
Well, I'll tell you where it leads me into where my love, and you're going to laugh at me. I know you will. My love for aircraft and aeronautics and aerospace. Two things happened to me when I was a kid. Three things. Top Gun.
Okay. Yeah,
Iron Eagle.
perfect.
And Space Camp. I own all three of those on VHS. Probably multiple copies. Multiple copies.
Good.
Not Iron Eagle 2. I think it was inferior to the first one. But honestly, for kids like me, I'm 41, that yes, it was pop culture that got us into it. You look at, again, where it's aerospace, or at least the space aspect of it, that is becoming the modern day dinosaur. Really?
Right. In large part, a lot of the commercial space flight is at the top of the list right now. But NASA, through funding, is really cranking back up, and with looks of going back to the moon and to Mars. And it looks really very promising.
Yes, and with people like Elon Musk that are willing to throw money at it, I think it's so important, especially for me. I remember where I was sitting when I saw the Challenger explosion. You know what I mean? And I in the what was the last shuttle that we launched? I mean, I huddled around people that are my age watching this, and kids, don't understand how important those things are. That's why I love that we have museums like this that can, again, kind of transport you not only into another time, but kind of give you an eye to the future as well. So in terms of eye to the future and things that you would do you have a lot of programs for schools, or do you guys offer any type of lock-ins or anything like that? What can somebody expect?
Yeah. Right now we offer school group tours. We had over 50 schools come just this last year to see the museum. And we're going to start vamping up our programs, our educational programs and everything that we have here after our expansion is complete this next year. We do have STEM camps right now as well in the summertime, and just really trying to put that out there and make it available to all of our local students. What's really, really special too, and not a lot of people know this, Oklahoma is the only state to have had an astronaut fly in every American manned space program.
Oh, wow. I should probably watch less Space Camp and pay attention to history more.
But we are the only state that can say that, and that's very special. From Mercury to Gemini, Apollo, Skylab to Shuttle, there's been an Oklahoma astronaut in every one of those space programs.
I frequent Shawnee, and that's the home of, and now I can't remember.
Gordon Cooper?
Yes, Gordon Cooper.
Yes.
They had a really nice mural painted on the side of a building, and I guess they sold it and decided it wasn't important, so they painted over it, which is on Gordon Cooper Drive. I think people forget how Oklahoma's a big part of the space race. Like, it's just, we're embedded in that.
And our local university, Southwestern Oklahoma State University here, during the Apollo missions, we had nearly 30 graduates go to work at Mission Control during that time.
Wow.
And most of them were farm and ranch kids, local farm and ranch kids that went down there and worked. And then once they were finished with NASA, they came back here and worked their family farm today. So,
well, I told you up front, you're talking to a guy that the only thing I know about space is the right stuff and Apollo 13 and Space Camp.
Those are really good ones.
Those are good ones, but probably not accurate.
Our director.
Armageddon, probably not accurate.
Apollo 13, though, is very, very, very accurate.
All right. So, well, then I know
that's a good one.
Maybe I should talk about that more. Space Camp is not accurate.
Our director actually helped on that one.
Is that correct? Wow. That is
He can
cool.
talk to you more on that. That would be a really fun.
That would be a fun conversation for sure, but I've got to bone up. I got to do some serious reading between here and there. You said you've got a huge expansion. What can we expect with that expansion? Are we getting more artifacts, or just more room to grow, or what are we looking at there?
Yeah, so with the 22,000 square foot expansion, we have a lot of artifacts right now that aren't able to be on display just because we don't have the room. We're also getting some very special items, and it just...
You can't say a lot about it.
I can say what it is right now, but
no, that's fine. I don't want you to be disavowed or get your credentials taken away.
No, it is good. But there's some big surprises coming soon and some significant historical items that will be here to stay and call the Stafford Air and Space Museum their home.
Perfect.
And what's really neat, too, about the museum is that we are attached to the airport, so people can fly in and come and see the museum as well. So
oh, wow.
There's just a lot of different aspects of it being off I-40 and on Route 66.
Cheney, I got to get out more. I've been here 41 years. If I knew there was an airport out there, I didn't pay attention.
Are you right in Oklahoma City?
Well, yeah. I spend most of the time in Mustang, which really, if I stood on a tower, I could probably see Weatherford if it was positioned just right. We're not really far away. I'm using quotes, but yeah, I got to get out more. I got to. But you got a MiG-22 out there, don't you?
Yes, we got a MiG. We have a MiG, and actually, Stafford flew this one over Area 51.
Are you serious? Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Can we
And he was. I'll just go into a little bit of the tour, though. There was a group of pilots called the Red Hat in Area 51, and they were allowed to fly specific special aircraft. That group eventually became known as Top Gun. So General Stafford is part of the original Top Gun. Yes.
No freaking way!
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Stories like that and everything. It's really special if we can get you out here.
Am I going to get shot because I have this information?
No.
I know what happens to people with redacted documents. I've seen the documentaries. That is the coolest thing I've ever heard. You have no idea. I am.
Well, there's
warm.
not many things that we do know when he was in Area 51, but we do know.
My God.
Know that little bit.
You have no idea. I'm 41 and my body is warm right now. That is the coolest. My Top Gun universe has been the circle has been completed. I may just.
Well, then I'll get a picture of you with him and his actual red helmet he wore out there when you're here.
Are you kidding? Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes, we will be in touch. In this part of this, we may keep part of this because I need to be known to. I need people to hear me squeal like a girl over this kind of stuff. But as far as how normal people will be able to get a hold and find you and yours. What's the Facebook? Obviously, give us the rundown of your contact info.
Stafford Air and Space Museum. Follow us on Facebook. We also have a website, staffordmuseum.org, and there's just a lot of different ways that you can find us. Contact us. We'll set you up with a tour and get you here.
All right, Cheney. Well, we will be in touch because I really, really, really want to come out there, and it's not that far. And that's the other thing too is a lot of people if you're not from Western Oklahoma, number one, if you're not somebody that is dyed in the wool, whether you're retired Air Force, Navy, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's not your bag. You don't think about how cool that kind of stuff is. I'm a civilian, and this stuff gets me going. Like I love this kind of stuff.
That's what we want to stress too, is that it's a really nice day trip from Oklahoma City.
Absolutely.
And hop on I-40, come over, and you're here.
And there's plenty of little things to do on the way out there, and there's a lot of stuff out there to do. So, all right. Thanks, Cheney.
Okay.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Brett.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So there may be questions. Why do we have an old interview that was never aired? We had lost several interviews, and they turned up on a hard drive while I was doing some house cleaning. So there will be some new episodes with old content over the next few weeks as we give Brett and Carson time to recover from their ordeal. So as far as the Stafford Air and Space Museum goes, the museum is located along Route 66 at I-40 and Exit 84 in Weatherford, Oklahoma. They're open 361 days a year. That is pre and post-COVID. Their hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Admission is $7 for adults. They do have a discount for military, senior citizens, AAA members, students, and children under 5. At this juncture, I do believe that masks are required to enter, but other than that, it looks like business as usual at this Smithsonian affiliate museum. It looks like a lot of fun. We do hope that you enjoyed this slightly altered episode of the Only in OK Show. I am Harley, and we're out of here.